Hello, smilers. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to start this series on trusting God. I don't think you can ever discuss trusting God too much. It is so important. And I know for me personally, I see the struggle with trusting God. And not so much just the struggle with trusting God, but the conviction that we put on ourselves and the condemnation that we put on ourselves in those moments when we don't trust God and we're trying to figure out, well, why didn't I trust him or what happened? So I want to just take, a little time to really break down what trusting God looks like to me, what it feels like, what my experiences have been like in this process of getting closer to God and trusting God in every area of my life. I feel like so many times we complicate our walk. We make things so complicated and so hard on ourselves, and we have these measurements of how high we should be or how great we should be or how amazing things are supposed to turn out, and it's not always realistic. And I want to help us understand that trusting God, it needs to be realistic. God does the supernatural in our life when we're realistic about our limitations. So what does it look like to trust God? What does that mean, trusting God? What does that mean? So the scripture that I wanted to reference today in the whole concept of trusting God is Hebrews 11:6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So that is a common scripture, Hebrews 11:6. We know it. Without faith, it's impossible to please him. So I want to read a different translation, and so we can just break the scripture down a little bit further. And without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that comes to God must believe that he is. He is what? For he that comes to God must first believe that he is. You have to first believe that he's God. That's step one. Step one to trusting God is you got to believe that he's God. And what does that mean, believing that he's God? That he is the creator of the world. He is the force that is in control of everything, that he is the creator of you and I. You have to first believe that he's God. It's kind of hard to go to him if you don't even believe him. So that's the step one. That seems like a pretty easy step. Step one, believe that he is God. He is God. So I want to stop there. I don't want to go further in the scripture. I want to stop right there with the concept of, but without faith, no one can please God. We must believe that God is real. Do you believe that God is real? And do you believe that he is real in every aspect of your life? And how much of that do you depend on? It can be somewhat of a mystery and a struggle to believe in someone who you can't see, you cannot physically touch. And this scripture, the Bible, is telling you to trust him and believe that he's real. So in our minds, we tell ourselves, well, yes, I believe him. Yes, I believe in him. I believe that he exists. But really take this time to evaluate any struggles that you may have believing in the existence of God. Is God real? Before we go any further in trusting God, is he real to you? Step one. Because once you really come to accept, yes, I believe in God, yes, I believe he's real, then we can move on to what are your limitations that keep you from fully trusting in this God that you believe is real and that does exist. So think about why you feel he's real. What evidence in your life has he shown his realness to you? So do you believe in God? Is he real? And why do you know that he's real? Because there will be times when that is questioned and that is challenged. And because you know the answer, because you have the proof, the evidence that you need, it's going to make the journey a little bit simpler. You'll be able to take that next step because you did the core work. This is all about doing the core work so that you can take the next step that you need to take. Is God real to you? And why do you know he's real? God is real to me. Why? Because there are unspoken requests, things that I have not said to anyone, that I have not even mentioned or even took a lot of thought into myself, that he's come into my life and he's worked out for me. So that's what makes the evidence of God real for me. Those unspoken, heartfelt requests that he answered. No one else could know. No one else did know. So no one else could have done what was done in my life but him. The times that I had a smile and I did not feel the best, that I was dealing with, the expectation, the loss of expectation because I had thought something was going to happen and it didn't happen, and it's just disappointing. And he comes in and he's just comforting. And he may come in a word, or he may come in a song. It may come in someone else bringing some encouragement to me. But that's how he's made himself evident in my life, through different things that he's done from the unspoken. Now, there's spoken things that he's done also, but the biggest thing for me are the unspoken requests that he hears and he answers in my life. So that's how I know God is real. That's why I believe that he's real. So you have to evaluate that within yourself. Is God real? Why is he real to you? Once we can answer that question, then we can go to the next step of the whole concept of having faith. Because the scripture tells us without faith, we can't please him. Because in order to please him, we have to first believe he's real. So you're not going to really give your best to something or someone who you don't believe in, or you don't believe it's even real. What's the benefit in doing something if you don't believe that it's even real, or that it exists, or there's no reward for it? So ask yourself that. Take some time to really write and to ask yourself, is God real, and why is he real in my life? And that'll begin your journey to trusting God, to establishing the basis of the relationship as we move forward in our discussion with how to trust God and what trusting God looks like. I do love you all. Please keep smiling. Remember to smile, and I will talk to you soon.